Before you settle in, I want you to pause. Just breathe. For the first time in days, breathe. Because you didn't come here by chance. This isn't a random video. And you didn't land here because of the algorithm. You landed here because your heart has been whispering for help. And Allah heard it before you ever said a word. Look at your life for a moment. The weight you've been carrying, the silence you've been holding, the nights you cried quietly, the moments you pretended to be okay but you weren't. None of that was hidden from Allah. And tonight, Allah brought you here for a reason so deep that if I told you too quickly, your heart wouldn't be ready. So just stay with me, because something extraordinary is happening in your life right now. Not outside you, inside you. A shift, a turning, a moment you will remember when you look back years from now and say, that was the night everything changed. And maybe you don't see it yet. Maybe all you feel is the pain. Maybe all you notice is the confusion. Maybe all you see is the delay. Maybe all you feel is loneliness. Maybe all you hear is silence. But that silence is not emptiness. It is preparation. Allah's preparation. My dear brother, my dear sister, you've been begging Allah for answers. You've been asking Him why life feels heavy. You've been wondering why certain people left, why certain doors closed, why certain dua didn't come true, why certain seasons refused to end. You thought Allah was ignoring you, but the truth is He was building you. You thought you were breaking, but you were becoming. You thought you were falling behind, but Allah was pulling you ahead, just not in the way you imagined. You see, some of the hardest things you lived through were not punishments. They were transitions shifting you away from places that were too small for the person you are becoming. And this entire video, every word you're about to hear, every reminder, every whisper, every moment is designed to show you why Allah took you the long way around. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like Allah was quiet when you needed Him most? Have you ever felt like life was happening to everyone except you? Have you ever felt like you were praying and praying but the heavens stayed still? Have you ever felt like your heart was tired of understanding, tired of being strong, tired of being patient? If your answer is yes, then this video is not a coincidence. This is mercy pulling you in. This is Allah calling your heart closer. And before this hour ends, you will understand three things. Why Allah allowed you to feel unseen, why Allah removed the people you wanted to keep, why Allah is saving your honor for a moment you cannot see yet. You think you've seen Allah's plan? No, my dear, you've only seen the door closing. The opening, the one written for you, is still ahead. And by the time this video reaches the end, your heart will whisper, Allah, you were with me the entire time. So don't scroll, don't rush, don't distract yourself. Sit with this message. Let it go deep. Let it reach the places inside you that you've been avoiding for years. Let this be the reminder that pulls you out of the pain and into the purpose your soul was created for. Because what you are about to hear is not a lecture, not a talk, not a motivational speech. This is a conversation between your tired heart and the one who has been healing it even when you didn't know. Stay until the end, because the person who began this video will not be the same person who finishes it. And that is Allah's promise to a sincere heart. They didn't see your heart, but Allah did. My dear brother, my dear sister, sometimes life brings you moments that feel heavier than your own body. Moments where you look at yourself and wonder why your heart feels so tired, so stretched, so drained. Even though you never showed anyone how heavy the burden was. And one of the biggest hurts in this world is when you give someone your purest love, your purest loyalty, your purest sincerity, and they respond with silence, with distance, with selfishness. It's when you choose them, but they never chose you the same way. It's when you stay and they leave, you help and they ignore. You protect and they allow others to hurt you. You forgive and they forget your worth. You gave from your heart, even on days when you barely had anything left to give. You smiled for people while you cried alone. You were strong for everyone while you silently broke in places no one could see. You carried their emotions, their fears, their stress, because that's how big your heart is. You never asked for anything back. Not money, not gifts, not favors, only respect, only appreciation, only honesty, but they couldn't give you even that. And the saddest part is you kept believing that maybe one day they would notice. Maybe one day they would say thank you. Maybe one day they would say I'm sorry. Maybe one day they would say, I didn't realize how much you did for me, but that day never came. Instead, they took your loyalty as something normal. They took your kindness as something expected. They took your efforts as something they deserved. They took your sacrifices as their rights. You kept giving, they kept taking, you kept understanding, they kept repeating the same hurtful actions, you kept choosing them. That they kept choosing themselves, and slowly you started breaking in ways you didn't know were possible. You started feeling invisible. You started feeling replaceable. You started feeling like your heart was too soft for this world. But listen to me, my dear, your heart was never the problem. Your kindness was never the weakness. Your loyalty was never the mistake. Your sincerity was never foolishness. The problem was simple. You were giving pieces of your heart to people who didn't even know how to hold them. You were watering a garden that belonged to someone who didn't care what grew there. You were trying to heal someone who didn't mind hurting you. But while they ignored your heart, Allah did not. Allah saw the moments you cried after helping someone. Allah saw the nights you couldn't sleep because you were hurt quietly. Allah saw the days you pushed yourself to be strong for others. Even while you were hurting inside, Allah saw when your voice trembled, but you still spoke kindly. Allah saw when someone disrespected you and you still chose patience over anger. Allah saw when you forgave even though they didn't deserve it. Allah saw when you lowered your ego just to save a relationship that they didn't bother to protect. Allah saw the truth behind every tear, every smile, every silence, every effort. Not a single moment of your sincerity was missed. Not a single second of your pain was ignored. Not a single sacrifice was forgotten. You see, people only see what you show, but Allah sees what you hide. People only understand what you explain, but Allah understands what you feel. People only appreciate you when it benefits them, but Allah appreciates you because your heart is clean. And sometimes Allah lets people hurt you, not to punish you, but to remove you from places that were too small for your soul. Sometimes Allah allows someone to break your heart so you don't continue giving it to the wrong hands. Sometimes Allah allows someone to use you so that you never again waste your sincerity on someone who didn't deserve even your hello. Sometimes Allah lets people walk away because He's protecting you from a future you cannot see. You think you lost something, but Allah knows you were saved. You think you were rejected, but Allah knows. You were redirected. You think you were forgotten, but Allah knows. You were chosen for something better. My dear, your worth was never in their hands. Your value was never written by people. Your story was never controlled by those who hurt you. Your tears are seen by the Lord of the worlds. Your patience is written by the most merciful. Your kindness is recorded by the most just. Your sacrifices are counted by the one who never forgets. You did not give your heart in vain. You did not love in vain. You did not care in vain. You did not forgive in vain. Everything you did was witnessed by Allah at a time when people closed their eyes. And Allah says in His own way, I saw you when no one else did. I heard you when no one else listened. I knew your sincerity when people doubted you. I counted your tears when the world ignored them. I will return everything you lost in ways greater than you imagined. My dear brother, my dear sister, don't think the story ends with your pain. Don't think your heart will stay broken. Don't think your sincerity will go unrewarded. Allah is preparing something beautiful for you. Something that will make you look back and say, now I understand why it had to happen. But until then, keep your heart soft, keep your intentions clean, keep your faith strong, keep your trust in Allah firm, because the one who saw you being ignored will soon make you valued. The one who saw you being hurt will soon heal you completely. The one who saw you being used will soon honor you in ways that will silence every pain, every memory, every wound. Your story is not over. Your sincerity is not lost. Your pain is not wasted. Your heart is not forgotten. Allah saw everything. Your pain was not rejection, it was protection. My dear brother, my dear sister, sometimes what feels like the worst moment of your life is actually the moment Allah protected you the most. You think you were rejected. You think you were not good enough. You think you were pushed away because something was wrong with you. But listen carefully. There is a deeper truth hidden behind this pain. A truth you may not see yet, but Allah has seen it from the beginning. Sometimes the people you prayed for were the same people Allah was saving you from. Sometimes the love you begged for was the same love that would have destroyed your peace. Sometimes the relationship you wanted so badly was the same relationship that would have taken you away from Allah. And because Allah loves you, He blocked it. No matter how painful it felt, sometimes Allah removes a person right when you were ready to give them everything. It feels confusing. It feels sudden. It feels unfair. You cry and say, Ya Allah, why now? Why take them away when my heart was finally attached? But Allah knows. What your heart does not know, Allah says, sees. What your eyes cannot see, Allah hears. What you never heard, Allah protects. In ways you don't understand in the moment. You think you were rejected, but in reality, you were redirected. You think someone walked away from you, but in reality, Allah pulled you away from something that would have wounded you deeper. You think the door closed because of your flaws, but in reality, Allah closed it because of their flaws. Flaws that you didn't see, flaws that would have broken you later, flaws that Allah protected you from before they reached your heart. Sometimes Allah saves your future by allowing someone to hurt your present. Sometimes Allah protects your soul by allowing something painful to happen now so you don't suffer something worse later. My dear, you may not understand what Allah removed, but one day you will understand what Allah saved you from. And when that day comes, you will fall into sujood and say, Ya Allah, you were right. I didn't see what you saw. I didn't understand what you were protecting me from. Thank you for saving me from what I was begging you for. Sometimes the person you cried for would have been the source of your deepest wounds. Sometimes the thing you chased would have become the reason for your sleepless nights. Sometimes the path you wanted would have taken you far away from your peace, your purpose, and your relationship with Allah. You must understand this. Not every heartbreak is a punishment. Some heartbreaks are protection. Some heartbreaks are purification. Some heartbreaks are direction. Allah says to your heart, my servant, you are crying today because you don't know what I saved you from. My servant, you feel lost today, but you don't know how close you are to the blessing I am preparing. My servant, trust me. Every no I gave you was to save you from a disaster hidden behind what you desired. Pain is not always a sign that something was wrong with you. Pain is often a sign that Allah is removing something wrong from your life. Pain is not rejection, it is protection. Pain is not abandonment, it is redirection. Pain is not loss, it is preparation. Allah removed that person so you could grow without being drained. Allah removed that job so you could find the one written for your risk. Allah removed that opportunity so He could give you one that fits your soul, your destiny, your purpose. You cried when they left, but Allah knew that if they stayed, you would cry even more. You begged Allah to keep them, but Allah knew that if He kept them, you would suffer a pain. You were not strong enough to bear. Sometimes Allah breaks your heart to save your soul. Sometimes Allah takes away your comfort to protect your character. Sometimes Allah makes you lonely to bring you closer to Him. If only you knew how many times Allah saved you from people who pretended to love you. If only you knew how many times Allah blocked a plan that would have destroyed you emotionally. If only you knew how many times Allah said no, because the thing you wanted was not meant for your peace. My dear, your pain today is carrying a future blessing inside it. You just can't see it yet. One day Allah will show you why He didn't let you end up with the people who used you, the people who lied to you, the people who didn't value you. One day Allah will show you why He didn't let your heart settle in a place that was too small for your worth. One day Allah will show you why you had to cry before you could be comforted. And when that day comes, your heart will whisper, Ya Allah, you never took anything from me. You only protected me. Your tears are not ignored. Your pain is not wasted. Your heartbreak is not forgotten. And your future is not ruined. Allah is protecting you in every moment. You felt rejected, and soon you will see the wisdom. Allah hides you before He honors you. My dear brother, my dear sister, sometimes you look at your life and it feels like nothing is moving, nothing is changing, nothing is opening, nothing is improving. It feels like you are stuck in the same place for years, while others around you are moving forward, receiving blessings, growing, shining, being noticed, being appreciated, being valued. And you sit there quietly feeling invisible, wondering why nobody sees your potential, wondering why nobody notices your sincerity, wondering why nobody recognizes your efforts, wondering why people overlook you again and again, wondering why you feel hidden, small, unseen, unappreciated. But my dear, you are not hidden because you are unworthy. You are hidden because Allah is protecting you. Allah hides diamonds, Allah hides pearls, Allah hides gold deep inside the earth until the right time comes for them to be brought out with honor. Allah does not hide garbage. Allah hides treasure. And you, my dear, are treasure. Sometimes Allah hides you from people who would have broken your heart before it reached maturity. Sometimes Allah hides you from relationships that would have damaged your soul before your soul was strong enough to handle life. Sometimes Allah hides you from opportunities that would have taken you too far. Without preparing you from within your hidden season is not a punishment. It is preparation. You are not forgotten. You are being shaped. You are being purified. You are being strengthened. You are being developed. You are being transformed into someone who can carry the blessing. Allah is preparing for you with dignity, with stability, with wisdom, with maturity. Allah hides you so that when He finally reveals you, you are ready for the world and the world is ready for you. So many people rush into the spotlight before their soul is ready, and when the spotlight burns them, they fall, they break, they collapse under the pressure. But Allah loves you too much to let that happen to you. A hides you while He builds your character. A hides you while He strengthens your heart. A hides you while He removes the wrong people from your life. A hides you while He prepares the right ones. A hides you while He clears your path from the dangers you never knew were there. A hides you while He rewrites your story in ways that will surprise you. You see, my dear, if Allah honored you too soon, you would have been surrounded by people who only loved your success but not your soul. They would have used you, not supported you. They would have taken advantage of you, not appreciated you. They would have drained you, not lifted you. So Allah hid you to protect you from what your eyes couldn't see. Sometimes Allah hides you in loneliness. Sometimes Allah hides you in rejection. Sometimes Allah hides you in silence. Sometimes Allah hides you in waiting. Sometimes Allah hides you in places that don't match your potential. And you ask, why am I still here? Why this delay? Why the stillness? Why do others rise while I stay in the background? But perhaps the background is where Allah is building your foundation. You cannot build a palace on weak soil. You cannot build a future on a broken heart. You cannot build blessings on a faith that is shaky. You cannot build greatness on a soul that is still healing. So Allah hides you to fix what no one else can see. He hides you until your wounds close. Your heart strengthens, your mind clears, your faith deepens, your soul matures. He hides you so that when He brings you forward, you come forward with confidence, with wisdom, with humility, with patience, with gratitude. My dear, your hidden season is your growing season, but growth feels like silence. Growth feels like delay. Growth feels like loneliness. Growth feels like being misunderstood. Growth feels like walls instead of doors. But Allah says to you, if only you knew what I am preparing, you would thank me for the doors that stayed closed. The truth is, Allah hides you from people because those people cannot handle your future blessing. If Allah let them into your life too early, they would have damaged your destiny. So Allah hides you until the wrong eyes lose interest and the right eyes arrive. Allah hides you until the wrong hearts detach and the right hearts appear. Allah hides you until the wrong environment fades and the right environment grows. You are not late, you are protected. You are not behind, you are being prepared. You are not forgotten, you are being rewritten. You are not invisible, you are being guarded. People may not know your value today, but Allah does. And when Allah decides to honor someone, He does it in a way that surprises even the one being honored. When Allah reveals you, He reveals you in a way that not even your enemies can deny. When Allah elevates you, He elevates you in a way that makes your past heartbreaks make sense. When Allah brings you forward, He brings you forward with blessings you didn't expect, peace you didn't imagine, and opportunities you didn't see coming. You were hidden. Not because you lacked something, but because Allah loved you enough to not let people misuse your worth. He hid you because He was preparing a stage where your light will shine without being dimmed by others. He hid you because He was preparing a blessing that requires a stronger version of you. He hid you because He wanted your success to be pure, protected and permanent. My dear, your hidden season is almost over. You will understand soon why Allah kept you away from certain people. You will understand soon why He delayed things you begged for. You will understand soon why He kept you in the background while others moved ahead. You will understand soon that Allah was not ignoring you. He was elevating you. But elevation requires isolation. Honor requires hiding. Growth requires catness. Strength requires silence. And Allah was building all of this inside you. The day Allah reveals you, you will not rise a little. You will rise beautifully, softly, powerfully, in a way that will make you say, Ya Allah, you knew exactly what you were doing. What you gave in silence will return in public. My dear brother, my dear sister, there are moments in your life where you sit alone and ask yourself quietly, did my kindness matter? Did my sacrifices mean anything? Did they even notice how much I did for them? Did they ever value the parts of me I gave silently? Because the truth is, you were the kind of person who gave in silence. You helped without telling anyone. You supported without demanding attention. You stood behind people without needing the spotlight. You shared your blessings without posting it online. You cried in private but smiled in public. You carried others even when you were tired. There were moments you went out of your way to make someone's life easier while no one saw. There were days you cleaned someone's mess while they complained about you. There were times you fixed problems that no one even knew you solved. There were situations where you stepped aside so someone else could shine. You gave your heart, your effort, your time, your energy, your love, your patience, all in silence. Not because you were weak, not because you wanted recognition, not because you wanted praise, but because your heart was sincere. You did good because goodness was inside you. But while you were giving in silence, the people you helped did not always return the gesture. Some used your silence against you. Some thought your kindness was a weakness. Some believed your generosity was their right. Some pretended they didn't see your sacrifices. Some acted like they raised themselves when it was your silent support that lifted them. And the saddest part is you never told anyone how much it hurt. You never explained what you did for them. You never exposed the truth. You never showed your pain. You just kept giving quietly, hoping Allah was seeing it, even when people weren't. And Allah did see it. Allah saw the nights you stayed awake worrying about someone else's comfort. Allah saw the hours you spent helping someone solve their problems. Allah saw the days you bit your tongue to avoid hurting someone's feelings. Allah saw how you stayed patient when people misunderstood your intentions. Allah saw every sadaqah you gave secretly. Allah saw every dua you made for others. Allah saw every tear you hid. Allah saw every disappointment you swallowed. Not one moment of your goodness went unnoticed by Him. You see, my dear, people only see what you show them. Allah sees what you hide. People only appreciate what benefits them. Allah appreciates your pure intention. People remember the things you do loudly. Allah remembers the things you did silently. This is why Allah promises something beautiful. What you gave in silence, I will return in public. Meaning the blessings that will come to you will be so visible that even the people who ignored your goodness will witness your elevation. The mercy you receive will be so obvious that even those who doubted you will be shocked by Allah's generosity to you. The opportunities that open for you will be so clear that even those who tried to block your path will see how Allah protected you. The respect you gain will be so powerful that even those who never valued you will see your worth. Now, you did not lose anything by giving quietly. Allah collected every moment of your sincerity and is preparing to return it to you in ways that will surprise you. Your kindness will return as unexpected doors opening. Your patience will return as peace entering your life. Your generosity will return as people supporting you when you least expect it. Your silent tears will return as silent blessings that fill your heart. Your hidden efforts will return as visible success that no one can deny. My dear, you are not forgotten. Your sacrifices are not erased. Your sincerity is not ignored. Your silence is not wasted. Every time you helped someone in secret, Allah was helping you in ways you didn't see. Every time you gave something quietly, Allah wrote it loudly in your book of deeds. Every time you bit your tongue and stayed patient, Allah raised your rank without you knowing. Every time you chose peace over revenge, Allah protected you from wounds you never felt. Every time you forgave someone who didn't apologize, Allah rewarded you with angels writing your patience. You see, the world thinks only loud actions matter. But with Allah, the quietest action carries the loudest reward. Allah loves hidden charity more than loud generosity. Allah loves private dua. More than public speeches, Allah loves patience in silence. More than arguments in pride, Allah loves a quiet heart more than a loud mouth. And Allah loves you for the silent beauty inside you that no one appreciates except Him. It may feel like you are unnoticed now, but Allah is preparing a time where your blessings will speak louder than your silence ever could. There will come a day when the same people who ignored your kindness will wonder how your life became so peaceful. There will come a day when those who used your silence will watch Allah honor you in ways they never thought possible. There will come a day when your quiet sacrifices become the reason for your loud success. There will come a day when your hidden tears become the seeds of your visible joy. Allah will not return your kindness in the same measure. He will return it multiplied. He will return it abundantly. He will return it beautifully. He will return it publicly. My dear, this is why you should never regret being a good person. Even if people never appreciated you, even if no one thanked you, even if your goodness was ignored because Allah was watching when no one else was. And when Allah takes something from the unseen, He returns it in the open. When Allah rewards a hidden heart, He rewards it with visible blessings. When Allah honors a quiet soul, He honors it in a way that the whole world sees. You are closer to that moment than you think. You were growing while they were using you. My dear brother, my dear sister, sometimes you look back at your life and wonder, how did I survive that? How did I tolerate those people? How did I carry that pain for so long? How did I stay so patient when they were so unfair? How did I keep giving when they kept taking? And the answer is simple. You were growing while they were using you. You didn't realize it at the time. You didn't understand it in the moment. You didn't see what Allah was doing behind the scenes. You just thought you were being hurt, being drained, being ignored, being taken advantage of. But in reality, you were being built. Every disappointment shaped you. Every betrayal strengthened you. Every tear purified you. Every hardship stretched you. Every heartbreak opened a deeper door to Allah. Every moment of loneliness pushed you closer to His mercy. You thought you were breaking, but Allah was actually rebuilding you. You thought you were losing parts of yourself, but Allah was removing the parts that were holding you back from your destiny. You thought people were walking all over your kindness, but Allah was teaching you how to rise without depending on anyone. You thought you were being used because you were weak, but Allah was training you to become someone who can recognize fake people instantly, who can protect their heart intelligently, who can see the truth behind every smile. You are not being destroyed. You are being developed. You see, my dear, growth does not happen in comfort. Growth happens in pressure. Growth happens in silence. Growth happens in places where no one claps for you. Growth happens in nights when you cry quietly. Growth happens in moments when you question your worth. Growth happens in situations you never wanted to experience. What they did to you was not a waste. It was training. The people who used you were unknowingly helping you become a stronger version of yourself. They thought they were taking advantage of you. But every time they hurt you, Allah added a new layer of wisdom to your heart. They thought they were manipulating you. But every time they lied, Allah sharpened your ability to read people. They thought they were taking your kindness for granted. But every time you stayed patient, Allah raised your rank. They thought they were winning by using you, but every time they underestimated you, Allah was silently preparing your victory. My dear, you were learning even when you didn't realize it. You were learning who deserves your time and who does not. You were learning who deserves your heart and who only wanted to drain it. You were learning who adds peace and who adds pain. You were learning who is real and who only pretends. Allah was teaching you through experience what no book, no lecture, no advice could ever teach you. And yes, it hurt. Yes, it broke you. Yes, it felt unfair. Yes, you cried when no one saw. Yes, you wished things were different. Yes, you questioned why Allah allowed this. But if those people had not come, you would still be naive. If those people had not used you, you would still give your heart to the wrong ones. If those events had not happened, you would still trust too easily. If those tears had not fallen, you would never have discovered your own strength. You didn't know it. But every time someone misused you, Allah was peeling away the old version of you and giving birth to a wiser, clearer, stronger version. You were growing quietly, growing emotionally, growing spiritually, growing mentally, growing in ways no one noticed, growing in ways you didn't notice. You learned to stand alone without breaking. You learned to smile without depending on anyone. You learned to pray with a heart that was bleeding. You learned to trust Allah more than people. You learned to let go with dignity. You learned to see through fake promises. You learned how to protect your peace. You learned how to walk away from harm. You learned how to respect yourself again. And Allah was proud of you. Every time you chose goodness, even when others chose selfishness. Every time you forgave when revenge was easier. Every time you stayed gentle when someone spoke harshly. Every time you swallowed your anger instead of hurting someone back. Every time you made dua instead of complaining to people. Every time you wiped your tears and chose to stand again. These were not moments of weakness. These were moments of growth. You grew in ways no one saw. You grew in ways no one appreciated. You grew in ways no one clapped for. But Allah saw it all. And because He saw it, you will be rewarded in ways this world cannot imagine. My dear, you were not being used. You were being prepared. Prepared for a better circle. Prepared for better relationships. Prepared for deeper love, prepared for wiser choices, prepared for cleaner hearts, prepared for a future with more clarity, prepared for blessings that require emotional strength. If Allah had given you these blessings earlier, you wouldn't have been ready. Your heart would have trusted the wrong people. Your soul would have settled for less. Your mind would have tolerated disrespect. Your emotions would have been too fragile. So Allah allowed you to experience pain to stretch you into the person your future requires. You were growing every time you felt alone. You were growing every time someone betrayed you. You were growing every time life disappointed you. You were growing every time you cried yourself to sleep. You were growing every time you chose to start again. Growth is not loud. Growth is not obvious. Growth is not beautiful. Growth is painful. Growth is lonely. Growth is silent. But growth is necessary for what Allah is preparing for you. And now you are no longer the person you used to be. Your spirit is stronger. Your heart is wiser. Your soul is cleaner. Your patience is deeper. Your vision is clearer. Your faith is thicker. The people who used you helped you grow into someone who will never be used again. The people who hurt you helped you grow into someone who can recognize pain instantly and avoid it early. The people who broke you helped you grow into someone who builds themselves from within without depending on anyone. You grew and they never saw it, but Allah saw it, and soon the world will see it too. My dear brother, my dear sister, you grew quietly, but Allah was watching loudly. Every moment you were mistreated, Allah was recording your patience. Every moment you were overlooked, Allah was writing your reward. Every moment you were used, Allah was protecting your future. You see, the people who used you thought you would stay the same forever. Soft, giving, forgiving, available. They didn't realize Allah was using their behavior to build a stronger version of you. They didn't realize Allah was sending you lessons through their actions. They didn't realize Allah was shaping you through the hardship they caused while they were using you. Allah was teaching you. They thought they were draining you, but Allah was filling you with wisdom. They thought they were breaking you, but Allah was strengthening your spine. They thought they were confusing you, but Allah was sharpening your intuition. They thought they were taking advantage of you, but Allah was preparing you for a future that requires intelligence and clarity. Your growth came from the very situations that were meant to destroy you. And this is how Allah works. He transforms your biggest wounds into your greatest wisdom. Sometimes He puts you in the presence of wrong people so you recognize right people later. Sometimes He sends you painful relationships so you appreciate peaceful ones later. Sometimes He allows betrayal so you learn not to trust quickly. Sometimes He lets you feel used so one day you can protect your heart with dignity, boundaries and strength. Pain was not your punishment. Pain was your teacher. Pain was your sharpening. Pain was your spiritual training. Pain was your emotional workout. Pain was your awakening. You were growing through every moment you wished had never happened. You grew in patience when they pushed you to your limit. You grew in wisdom when they lied to your face. You grew in silence when they argued loudly. You grew in dignity when they disrespected you. You grew in self-control when you wanted to respond harshly but chose mercy. You grew in maturity when you walked away gracefully. You grew in iman when you chose to turn to Allah instead of turning to people. This is why your heart feels different now. It cannot tolerate what it once accepted. It cannot trust what it once believed. It cannot love what it once chased. It cannot return to what once drained it. You are not the same person you were a year ago or 6 months ago or even a few weeks ago. Your soul has changed shape. Your heart has changed depth. Your mind has changed direction. And that is what growth is. You didn't grow by reading a book. You didn't grow by hearing a lecture. You didn't grow by giving yourself motivational speeches. You grew because Allah placed you in situations you never wanted to experience, and now you have qualities you didn't have before. You have strength you didn't have before. You have clarity you didn't have before. You have wisdom you didn't have before. You have resilience you didn't have before. You have boundaries you didn't have before. You have a voice you didn't have before. You have self-respect you didn't have before. And the people who used you do not recognize you anymore. They think you changed. No, you simply grew. They think you became distant. No, you became wiser. They think you stopped caring. No, you learned who is worthy of your care. They think you're cold now. No, you just stopped warming people who only brought coldness into your heart. Your growth is the reason why you no longer fit into certain places, why certain conversations tire you, why certain people feel heavy, why certain environments drain you, why certain habits don't match you anymore. Growth will always pull you away from people who used you, and Allah will always replace them with people who appreciate you. When Allah sees that you have grown enough, He begins to change your surroundings. He takes away people you would have clung to. He removes opportunities you thought you needed. He closes doors you were begging for, not because He wants to break your heart, but because He wants to protect your destiny. You grew through what broke you, and now Allah will give you what matches your new strength. The people who used you were only temporary tools for your permanent growth. They came to teach you, not stay with you. They came to awaken you, not accompany you. They came to break illusions, not build your future. They came to push you back to Allah, not distract you from Him. My dear, the growth you gained is more valuable than anything you lost. And Allah will not let that growth be wasted. Soon you will see blessings that fit the person you have become. Soon you will meet people who match your sincerity. Soon you will enter spaces that match your maturity. Soon you will receive risk that matches your patience. Soon you will feel peace that matches your endurance. You were growing while they were using you, and soon you will be rising while they remain exactly where they are. Allah saw everything. Allah recorded everything. Allah honored your growth. Even when people dishonored your kindness. This is why your future will look nothing like your past. Your next chapter will not look like your last. My dear brother, my dear sister, there comes a moment in every believer's life when Allah decides that the chapter you are living in is no longer the chapter you need. Sometimes you feel it slowly, and sometimes it hits you all at once. You look around and suddenly realize that nothing looks like it used to. The people are different. The conversations are different. Your reactions are different. Your heart is different. Your dreams are different. Your priorities are different. It is as if Allah quietly picked you up from one world and placed you into another, and you stand there thinking, what happened to me? Why don't I feel comfortable where I used to? Why do things that once excited me now feel empty? Why do people I once loved now feel distant? Why do habits that once entertained me now feel heavy? My dear, this is because your next chapter will not look like your last. Allah is rewriting your story in a way that matches the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. The old version of you cannot enter the new chapter. Allah has prepared the old circle of people cannot walk into the future. Allah is leading you to the old habits, cannot survive in the blessings coming your way. The old wounds cannot travel with the healing Allah is sending. The old fears cannot follow you into the strength Allah is building. Your next chapter is not an upgraded version of your old life. It is a completely different life. A life with more clarity, more guidance, more peace, more maturity, more understanding, more faith, more wisdom, more purpose. But before Allah opens that chapter, He must close the one before it. And closing chapters hurts. It hurts when people you loved start drifting away quietly. It hurts when friendships you invested in no longer feel alive. It hurts when your heart no longer belongs where it once lived. It hurts when old dreams don't match you anymore. It hurts when Allah removes you from environments that once felt like home. You may think something is wrong with you. You may think you are losing everything. You may think your life is becoming empty. But in reality, it is becoming ready. Ready for a chapter where Allah elevates you. Ready for a chapter where Allah honors you. Ready for a chapter where Allah protects you from what you cannot see. Ready for a chapter where your growth matches the new blessings. Ready for a chapter written with more clarity and less confusion. Ready for a chapter you cried for in secret. Even if you don't remember the dua you made, sometimes Allah changes your chapter without asking you, because He knows you would never choose it if it depended on your comfort. You would stay in the same place because it feels familiar. You would stay with the same people because they feel safe. You would hold on to the same habits because they feel easy. But Allah loves you too much to leave you stuck in a place you have outgrown. So He pulled you out, not gently, not slowly, not softly. Sometimes He pulls you out with force, with heartbreak, with separation, with disappointment, with sudden endings, with doors closing unexpectedly. Not because He wants to hurt you, but because He wants to move you. Your next chapter requires more strength than your last, more trust than your last, more faith than your last, more patience than your last, more inner stability than your last. So Allah rebuilds you before He reintroduces you. Your environment so you can hear your soul. He removes certain people so you can learn self-respect. He closes certain doors so you stop forcing what is not written. He delays certain blessings so you grow into the person who can handle them. You think you are losing everything, but Allah is actually removing what would have held you back later. You think your life is falling apart, but Allah is rearranging it into something better. You think your story is ending, but Allah is about to reveal a chapter you never saw coming. You think Allah is silent, but Allah is writing. He is writing a chapter where your heart finally breathes, where your soul finds peace, where your tears turn into wisdom, where your loneliness turns into strength, where your patience becomes your elevation, where your pain becomes your clarity, where your heartbreak becomes your redirection. Your next chapter will not be built on suffering. It will be built on understanding. It will not be built on confusion. It will be built on insight. It will not be built on fear. It will be built on trust. It will not be built on people. It will be built on Allah. You will look back and say, I was crying, but Allah was preparing. I was hurting, but Allah was healing. I was losing, but Allah was clearing the path. I was confused, but Allah was rewriting my destiny. My dear, your next chapter will not look like your last, because you are no longer the person you were in your last. The pain changed you. The loneliness purified you. The delays matured you. The heartbreak awakened you. The silence strengthened you. The tests deepened you. The waiting humbled you. The disappointment sharpened you. You are not who you were yesterday, and your future will not match your past. Allah is preparing a chapter that answers every dua you whispered alone. A chapter that fills every emptiness you carried for years. A chapter that replaces every person who walked away. A chapter that gives you the peace you once begged for. A chapter that restores everything you thought you lost. But first, He must close the old one completely. And sometimes that closure feels like heartbreak. Sometimes it feels like isolation. Sometimes it feels like confusion. Sometimes it feels like life is suddenly quiet. Sometimes it feels like the world has stopped moving. But remember, silence is where Allah speaks to your heart. Loneliness is where Allah rebuilds your spirit. Confusion is where Allah clears your vision. Pain is where Allah strengthens your character. Stillness is where Allah realigns your destiny. You are not stuck. You are transitioning. You are not ending. You are evolving. You are not moving backward. You are being repositioned. You are not losing. You are being prepared for more. And your next chapter will make you grateful for every delay, every heartbreak, every quiet night, every lonely tear, every painful lesson. You will say, Alhamdulillah, Allah knew what I did not know. My dear brother, my dear sister, your next chapter begins the moment you realize that Allah did not bring you this far to leave you where you are. He didn't let you survive all that pain just to return you to the same life. He didn't let you carry all those heavy lessons just to put you back in the same environment. He didn't let you cry all those silent tears just to bring you back to the same heartbreak. Allah is too merciful to let your suffering be useless. Allah is too wise to let your journey be meaningless. Allah is too just to let your patience go unrewarded. Your next chapter is different because Allah is turning you into someone who can handle what is coming. And trust me, what is coming is far better than what you are leaving behind. Your next chapter will bring people who speak to your soul, not your wounds. People who love you gently, not conditionally. People who don't drain you but fill you. People who don't manipulate you but protect you. People who don't question your worth but value you deeply. People who don't make you feel replaceable but make you feel honored. Your last chapter taught you who doesn't deserve your heart. Your next chapter will show you who actually does. Your last chapter taught you where not to settle. Your next chapter will show you where you truly belong. Your last chapter taught you who to walk away from. Your next chapter will show you who to walk toward. Your last chapter taught you what peace is not. Your next chapter will show you what peace truly feels like. You survived the pain of the wrong people. You will now taste the sweetness of the right ones. My dear, Allah saw how long you stayed in environments that were too small for your soul. Allah saw how much effort you put into connections that gave you nothing in return. Allah saw how loyal you were to people who didn't value your presence. Allah saw how deeply you loved those who didn't protect your heart. Allah saw how exhausted you were. Allah saw how you kept going anyway. Allah saw how you stayed patient while everything around you fell apart. Allah saw how you prayed even when you were tired of asking. Allah saw how you held on even when you felt like letting go. Allah saw how you trusted Him when nothing made sense. And because Allah saw all of this, your next chapter will reflect it. Your next chapter will not be full of surprises you fear. It will be full of blessings you didn't expect. Blessings that are gentle, blessings that are peaceful, blessings that don't come with hidden pain, blessings that do not drain your soul, blessings that match your dua, blessings that match your healing, blessings that match your growth. You cried alone, but you will smile in front of everyone. You were forgotten by people, but you will be honored by Allah. You were rejected where you didn't belong, but you will be welcomed where your soul fits. You were underestimated, but Allah will reveal your true worth. You were ignored by people, but chosen by Allah. Your next chapter is the chapter where everything suddenly makes sense, where the pain connects, where the lessons connect, where the waiting connects, where all the pieces you thought were random come together to form a beautiful story. And you'll finally understand that Allah never delayed you. He was aligning everything for the perfect moment. Your next chapter is not about survival, it is about elevation. Not about confusion but clarity. Not about heartbreak but healing. Not about losing but receiving. Not about struggling but breathing. Not about being tested but being rewarded. Not about tears but about peace. Allah is not returning you to where you were. He is taking you somewhere you have never been. Somewhere your heart will feel lighter. Somewhere your soul will feel safer. Somewhere your mind will feel clearer. Somewhere your life will feel meaningful. Somewhere your faith will feel deeper. My dear, your story is not going backward. Your story is rising. Your story is elevating. Your story is unfolding in a direction you cannot see yet, but will thank Allah for later. And when you look back at the chapter you just left, you will not cry anymore. You will say, Alhamdulillah, Allah saved me from a life I didn't know was limiting me. And when you reach the chapter ahead, you will see blessings you didn't know were possible. You will see why Allah said no to what you wanted. You will see why He closed doors that you desperately tried to open. You will see why He removed certain people even though you begged Him to keep them. You will see why He placed distance between you and certain dreams. You will see why He paused your life when you wanted to run ahead. Allah wasn't punishing you, He was protecting you. Allah wasn't rejecting you, He was redirecting you. Allah wasn't delaying you, He was preparing you. Allah wasn't stopping your story, He was rewriting it beautifully. Your next chapter is the chapter where everything finally feels right. The chapter where your heart says, this is what I was waiting for. The chapter where your soul whispers, this is where I belong. The chapter where you finally feel at peace with what you lost and grateful for what you gained. The chapter where your tears become wisdom. The chapter where your heartbreak becomes healing. The chapter where your loneliness becomes strength. The chapter where your patience becomes reward. And Allah will show you, I never forgot you for a moment. Allah raises the one who remains sincere. There is something very beautiful about sincerity. Something very hidden. Something very quiet. Something very powerful. Most of the world chases attention. Most of the world wants to be seen. Most of the world wants to be praised. Most people do good only when someone is watching. Most hearts move only when they know someone will clap for them, recognize them, admire them, reward them. But you are different. Your heart moved in silence. Your kindness was hidden. Your sacrifices were secret. Your intentions were pure. You did things for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of people. Even when no one said thank you, you still helped. Even when nobody appreciated you, you still gave. Even when they misunderstood you, you still stayed patient. Even when they took advantage of your softness, you still kept your heart clean. And maybe sometimes you sat alone wondering why your sincerity felt so heavy. Why being good felt like a burden. Why having a clean heart felt like a punishment. Why the people you helped were the same people who hurt you. Why your loyalty was not returned. Why your honesty was not respected. But my dear, you must hear this truth. Allah raises the one who remains sincere. Not the one who's loud. Not the one who's famous. Not the one who's admired. Not the one who's followed. Not the one who's popular. Allah raises the one who keeps their heart clean even when the world becomes dirty. Allah raises the one who stays pure. Even when life becomes unfair, Allah raises the one who chooses goodness. Even when evil would have been easier, Allah raises the one who keeps giving. Even when people keep taking, Allah raises the one who stays kind. Even when people stay cruel, Allah raises the one who remains sincere. Even when sincerity brings no reward from people. You see, sincerity is not easy. Sincerity is not glamorous. Sincerity is not popular. Sincerity is not something people clap for. Sincerity is between you and Allah. And because it is between you and Allah, only Allah knows the weight of your sincerity. Only Allah knows the battles you fought quietly. Only Allah knows the tears you wiped secretly. Only Allah knows the intentions you protected. Only Allah knows how much you sacrificed and told no one about. People saw nothing, but Allah saw everything. People misunderstood you, but Allah understood every intention. People doubted you, but Allah knew your truth. People forgot your efforts, but Allah recorded every one of them. People ignored your goodness, but Allah stored every ounce of it for a day when you will need it the most. My dear, every sincere act you did was witnessed by the most loving. Every sincere tear you cried was counted by the most merciful. Every sincere prayer you whispered was preserved by the most hearing. And every sincere moment you held on to faith while your heart was breaking, that moment alone raised you higher than years of worship. Sincerity is not in your words. Sincerity is in your heart. It is in your intentions. It is in your silence. It is in your hidden sacrifices. You didn't tell the world how many times you forgave someone who didn't deserve it. You didn't tell the world how many nights you cried and still showed up with a smile. You didn't tell the world how many times you stood by someone when they couldn't stand for you. You didn't tell the world how much effort it took to not break someone's heart. Even when they broke yours, you didn't tell the world how much you prayed for others while they never prayed for you. You never announced your goodness. But Allah wrote it beautifully in a book that will speak for you on a day when no tongue will speak. Allah saw how you controlled your anger. When you could have exploded, Allah saw how you stayed gentle. When your heart wanted to become hard, Allah saw how you walked away. When you wanted to fight back, Allah saw how you stayed humble. When you wanted to prove a point, Allah saw how you helped quietly. When others bragged loudly, Allah saw how you chose dignity over revenge. Allah saw how you chose silence over arguments. Allah saw how you chose peace over pride. These small moments, these unseen sacrifices, these silent choices, they raised you in the sight of Allah more than any loud action ever could. You must understand this truth. When you remain sincere while people hurt you, Allah Himself becomes your defender. When you remain sincere while people lie, Allah reveals your truth in a way no human can deny. When you remain sincere while people betray you, Allah replaces them with people who honor your heart. When you remain sincere while people mock you, Allah protects you from the humiliation they planned for you. When you remain sincere while people ignore you, Allah brings you honor from unexpected places. The world sees the outside, Allah sees the inside. The world sees the actions, Allah sees the intentions. The world sees the results, Allah sees the struggle. The world sees the achievements, Allah sees the purity of effort. People judge the surface, Allah judges the soul. And Allah says, I raise the ones whose hearts remain clean, not the ones who pretend to be righteous, not the ones who show off their faith, not the ones who make noise in religion, not the ones who perform for people, but the ones whose sincerity remains even when their heart is tired, even when they feel unseen, even when they feel unappreciated, even when they feel alone, even when they are wounded, even when they are forgotten. Allah raises you quietly. Just like you were sincere, quietly, Allah honors you sly. Just like you sacrificed subtly, Allah protects you secretly. Just like you gave secretly, Allah writes your rewards silently. Just like you performed your good deeds silently. And one day you will see the effect of every pure intention. You will see the reward of every quiet sacrifice. You will see the result of every sincere moment. You will see the elevation that was being built for you. While you thought nothing was happening, that day will come. That moment will arrive. That blessing will unfold. That honor will reach you. That dua you whispered will return to you with beauty. That patience you practiced will return to you with ease. That sincerity you protected will return to you with miracles, my dear. Your sincerity is your greatest treasure. It is your protection. It is your shield. It is your light. It is your elevation. People can steal your time, your energy, your money, your comfort, your peace, but no one can steal your sincerity. No one can take your clean heart away. No one can erase the deeds Allah has recorded. No one can block the honor Allah wrote for you. No one can stop the elevation Allah has planned. Sincerity is not between you and people. Sincerity is between you and Allah. And anything between you and Allah can never be lost. Allah raises the sincere in ways the world cannot understand. Sometimes quietly, sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly, sometimes in a moment you never expected. And when Allah raises you, not even the entire world combined can bring you down. Your sincerity is the seed. Your elevation is the fruit. And Allah Himself is the one watering your garden. Your honor will come from Allah alone. There comes a point in every believer's life when Allah whispers into the heart, not with words you hear, but with feelings you cannot ignore. Your honor will come from me alone. Not from people, not from friends, not from family, not from the world, not from those who rejected you, not from those who belittled you, not from those who misunderstood you, not from those who walked away, not from those who forgot your kindness, not from those who didn't see your worth, your honor, your value, your elevation, your respect, your revenge, your justice, your victory will come from Allah alone. My dear, you have spent a long time trying to explain yourself to people who never really tried to understand you, trying to prove your worth, to people who were too blind to see it, trying to be good to hearts that were too hardened to appreciate it, trying to be loyal to people who were never loyal to you. You lowered your voice to avoid hurting anyone. You swallowed your pain to protect relationships. You hid your tears to look strong. You carried the weight that wasn't yours. You forgave things you never received an apology for. You chose peace even when others chose ego, and still people walked over your heart like it was nothing. People treated you like you were forgettable. People spoke as if your feelings didn't matter. People acted as if your silence was weakness. People pretended your sacrifices were normal. But Allah saw everything. He saw you when no one else did. He saw your patience when people took advantage. He saw your tears. When people dismissed your pain, He saw your sincerity. When people questioned your intentions, He saw your loyalty. When people betrayed you, He saw your efforts. When people ignored them and Allah whispered softly, just wait, your honor is coming and it will come from me. Sometimes Allah delays your honor so you don't depend on people for it. Sometimes Allah hides your worth so you don't give it to the wrong hands. Sometimes Allah lets people underestimate you so when He lifts you, they remember how wrong they were. Sometimes Allah lets people reject you so He can show you that being chosen by Him is greater than being accepted by the world. Your honor is not in people's approval. Your honor is in Allah's acceptance. Your honor is not in people noticing you. Your honor is in Allah choosing you. Your honor is not in people liking you. Your honor is in Allah loving you. You may feel small right now, but Allah is preparing a moment where your name will be mentioned in gatherings of angels. You may feel unseen right now, but Allah is writing your story with the ink of mercy. You may feel unappreciated right now, but Allah is preparing hearts that will value you more than anyone from your past ever did. You may feel forgotten right now, but Allah has kept you in a place that is too close for Him to forget. You may feel ignored right now, but Allah is designing a future where you will be impossible to ignore. You may feel rejected right now, but Allah is redirecting you to something better than you prayed for. Your honor will not come from proving yourself to people. Your honor will not come from defending yourself. Your honor will not come from fighting back. Your honor will not come from explaining your side. Your honor will come from Allah turning every tear into a blessing, every wound into wisdom, every heartbreak into protection, every disappointment into redirection, every delay into preparation, every silence into purification. My dear, Allah never forgot your sincerity. He never ignored your sacrifices. He never overlooked your patience. He never dismissed your loyalty. He never erased your pain. Allah has a perfect record of every moment you stayed silent. When you could have argued, every moment you stayed patient. When you could have broken, every moment you forgave when they didn't deserve forgiveness. Every moment you walked away. When you could have responded, every moment you held back your anger. When your heart was burning, every moment you smiled while you were hurting inside. You think these moments died in silence, but Allah has collected all of them, and He will return them to you as honor, as risk, as peace, as love, as guidance. No humiliation you ever felt will remain without compensation. No disrespect you ever swallowed will remain without clarity. No betrayal you ever faced will remain without replacement. No heartbreak you ever endured will remain without healing. When Allah decides to honor you, He will do it in a way that leaves no doubt. The same people who once doubted you will see your elevation. The same people who ignored your worth will witness Allah's reward. The same people who underestimated you will watch you rise higher than they ever imagined. The same people who walked away will hear your name in places they cannot reach. The same people who hurt you will understand the value of the heart they once mistreated. But your honor will not be to show them you were right. Your honor will be to show you that Allah was always on your side. Sometimes Allah protects your honor by making you silent. Sometimes Allah protects your honor by making you walk away. Sometimes Allah protects your honor by keeping you hidden. Sometimes Allah protects your honor by letting people leave. Sometimes Allah protects your honor by closing doors you begged Him to open. Because if those doors had opened, your honor would have been destroyed by the same people you prayed to be close to. You didn't know their heart, but Allah did. You didn't know their intentions, but Allah did. You didn't know their future, but Allah did. So Allah whispered, my servant, trust me. Your honor is with me, not with them. And when Allah honors someone, He does not do it quietly. He does not do it partially. He does not do it secretly. He does not do it halfway. He honors them in a way that the world witnesses, in a way that angels celebrate, in a way that hearts feel, in a way that changes destinies. My dear, your honor will not come from the creation, it will come from the Creator. And what comes from the Creator can never be taken away. Your story is not over. Your honor is not delayed. Your worth is not forgotten. Your patience is not wasted. Your sincerity is not ignored. Allah is preparing something that will make you say, now I understand. Allah was protecting my honor all along. My dear brother, my dear sister, if you reach the end of this video, it means your heart was searching for something and Allah guided you here to give it to you. Not from me, not from the words, but from Him. Everything you heard tonight, every reminder, every whisper, every moment that touched you was Allah calling you back to Him. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not lost. You are simply in a moment of transition that your soul doesn't fully understand yet. And that's okay, because Allah understands. Allah says, Allah knows, Allah is handling everything. You don't have the strength to explain. Every tear you cried in silence, He counted it. Every heartbreak you hid from people, He witnessed it. Every moment you felt alone, He was closer to you than your jugular vein. You never walked a single step without Him, not one. And tonight He is reminding you, my mercy is bigger than your mistakes. My plan is better than your expectations. My timing is more perfect than your impatience. Your story is not ending. Your story is being rewritten with more beauty than you're able to imagine. So breathe. Rest your heart in Allah. Give Him your pain and He will return it to you as wisdom. Give Him your tears and He will return them as strength. Give Him your loneliness and He will return it as companionship. Give Him your fears and He will return them as faith. You have survived every moment that tried to break you, and you will survive this chapter too, because Allah never leaves His sincere servants without a victory. It may take time, it may come slowly, it may come quietly, but when it arrives, you will understand why Allah took you through every heartbreak, every delay, every silence, every test. Soon you will look back and say, Ya Allah, you were preparing me the entire time. So walk away from this video with a calm heart and a hopeful soul, because your future is not in the hands of people. Your future is in the hands of Allah. And He never writes a story without purpose, without mercy, without honor. My dear, may Allah bless you with a heart that finds peace after pain, clarity after confusion, and light after every darkness. May He write for you a chapter so beautiful that it makes you forget every suffering that came before it. And may He keep you close to Him until the last breath you take. Amen.